Oh,
that's preparation for the future. They'll
there
be
you
able
go.
to negotiate for the future.
Get your
Anyway,
negotiating skills ready. Go on, Mike, share.
I think my one at this moment now, I would say that I've come, obviously, as you know, I've recently got married. So before it was a case of me being by myself, I'm able to do work as long as I want. Nobody can stop me. Now I've got married. So now it's a case of like I've got to organize. And I've always said, like I said this to my wife, like it's quantity at work and then quality at home. So I want to be able to spend quality time with her, but do as much as I can at work. So I think for me to be able to get into it, I don't know if it works with you guys, but obviously I'm a creative. So for me to be able to get into my zone, I need to be in a certain, I won't say trance, but I need to be into a certain aura before like I get my best designs out. Sometimes if I'm doing everything rushed, the best things doesn't come out. But the ideas are scribbled down, but the best things don't come out. But to me, to be in my zone, I don't know if you guys watch Heroes. Have you seen Heroes?
Yes, yes.
So there's a guy in there who he tells the future. But for him to be able to tell the future, he has to take drugs to be able to get into that aura that he normally gets into, because he can't find it by himself. So he takes drugs to do it. And I guess that's what musicians find when they're taking weed or getting drunk or whatever like that. But for me to be able to get into that space, sometimes I just have to have that calm moment, whether it's just like listening to music, like before I could do any, let's say, like even before I was doing any creative stuff, when I was at school, before I could do any maths or do any reading, I need to have music in the background. That was my thing. But my parents didn't see it as that because that's not how they studied. They studied totally different. So they'd be thinking, Michael, you're deceiving yourself. Who listens to music while studying? Like, it doesn't work. But I found that works for me. So to be able to get into that thing, I needed that. So I had all the time in the world. Now I'm married, happily married, beautifully married, love my wife and everything like that. But the best times that I work, Nate, who's behind you, Nate? Nate, who's behind you? Because I saw the way you were looking back like this. Anyway, for me to be able to do that, sometimes like you guys are saying that you're a night owl, yeah? I have those night owl moments. I'm working till 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes she'll come and she'll be like, babe, you went in bed. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I'm coming now. So, that's the working life, that I have now. But if I wanted to have the, what's the word you said, Lauren? I don't want to say it because I'm gonna stumble when I say
Designedly.
it. Designedly. Yeah, okay, cool. I sound like I was in motion at the moment.
It was good.
If I was to think how I want it to be, obviously, like I would like to have a space where I'm able to, do everything I can in that moment and then forget about it afterwards and then just concentrate on family, because I'm trying to build a family now. So I'm trying to, organize the two, that I can spend the amount of time that I'm supposed to with the work, as much quantity time with that, and then have quality time with my family, and not being able to think. So that's the before and the after. I hope I've covered both bases of your questions, Lauren.
You've done brilliantly, Mike. I think all of you done amazingly well, honestly. Really great answers.
No, but it's a really tough question. But it does. I think these type of questions and everything just makes you. It brings out something that you never thought of before. Because when you asked that question, I was like, "What is this woman on about? Like, where did this come from? Where did this come from and stuff?" And it just made me thinking. But it's a great question. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it in the end. Maybe not to start with, but I'm glad you all
but it always happens. It always happens like that, though. It's just like we said before. Like you're not motivated to do something, but if you start at the end of it, you'll be like, "Wow, okay."
Exactly, and then we just keep the conversation going and going and going, and it just flows and it's easy.
TV's always dropping those bombs, huh?
I like to throw something different in there, something a bit unexpected. And I like what you said, Mike, as well about the zones, like having to get in the right zone or the right frame of mind for something. Like I've definitely found that I can switch from kind of like one-to-one calls with clients and then going on to trying to do some creative content or marketing, like whatever it is. Like, as I think as a small business owner as well, you wear all these different hats. You know, you have to be marketing, then you have to do your finances, and then you have to do your client stuff. Like you're in the business, you're on the business. There's so many different things you've got to do. And one thing I've done is to separate my week so that when I am working, which is limited time, because again, I'm a parent, I've got 2 kids, don't have 9 to 5 sort of working hours. So when I am working, it's very much okay, on this day I do one-to-one calls, so that I know that I've just got to get myself in that zone. I'm not kind of going one-to-one call to then doing a bit of content to then doing something else. So that really helps. And the other thing about environment as well, like having the right environment around me is really, really key. So if I'm doing something quite brainstormy, creative, coming up with strategies and plans, I actually sit on the floor with a whole load of A3. I actually bought A3 paper to be able to do it all on, because I like to just get it all out there, see what happens. But then if I'm doing my accounting, I'll be at my desk on my laptop. It's just the different environment creates a different vibe, I think, as well, which is quite interesting. I love that. Thank you, everyone, for taking part in my question.
No, thank you, Lauren, for giving us such a difficult but challenging question. Guys, you can admit that was challenging, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful question.
But it brought out great answers for that. So, in light of that, guys, that's the end of the show at the moment. So, just want to thank you again. If you'd like to subscribe, and if you enjoyed, please like the comments, make comments if you want, and we'll see you at the next episode of Creative Point of View.
The game's so funny.